Okay, first off, so if you are new here, this is our weekly team huddle. We do this every single Sunday, and it will probably be anywhere from like 30 minutes, sometimes to 45 minutes, depending on if we have lots of questions or things to go over and new announcements. It can sometimes just be, we try to go no longer than an hour for sure, but it's just a way to touch base with each other because we are all across the world. And it's just nice to be able to see people and have that sense of community and know that no matter what, like we always say this, you've joined alone, but you are never alone in this business. I really honestly don't care if it's your upline, your downline, your sideline, whatever it is. It's so funny because those of us who are here, we're ready to make this work. We are making this work. We're doing this thing. It's like you all sort of start congregating together. And I will tell you one important part of that, and always having good energy and a positive outlook on all of it, is plugging into this kind of stuff. And I know sometimes it's very easy to undermine or to tell yourself like, okay, I know what I'm doing, but I'm really busy today, so I don't need that. It's funny when people start feeling like, oh, I feel alone or I feel this or that. It's because they're not taking time to hop onto these things. So just make sure that you do take the time throughout your week to get your cup filled, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. So anyways, we're just going to touch base, and it's month end, you guys. This is like my favorite time of, I mean, I like love a start of a new month, but I really love month end. And for some people, they may feel stressed, or they're like, they're like, oh my gosh, or maybe they're disappointed because they haven't put in the work that they wanted to. Here's the deal. First of all, this business is not life or death, right? I say this all the time. So many of you, and if you're listening, this might be a second income for you, right? So if that's you, just put a 1 in the chat, right? If this is your full-time income, you can also put a 2 in the chat because there's a lot of us that have made this our full-time income. But at the end of the day, you guys, I just want to tell you the things that we stress about, sometimes we just have to like say them out loud, and then you're like, wait a second, that's really silly, right? And sometimes we let those things take us out of the game. So no matter where you're at for month end, here's the deal. You have 4 days left of this month, and 4 days is a really long time in It Works land. Like a long, long time. And so I don't care if you are 200 BV and that seems like so much for you, because it might be the first time that you're pushing for a promotion and you're like, oh my gosh, is that even doable? Guess what? I'm here to tell you that there are people still in our VIP page that are pushing for 18,000 in volume. So it is doable, right? But you have to know that it's doable. And you have to say like, you know what, I'm going to make the most of these next 4 days, and I'm going to take the tips that we're sharing tonight as a team, and I'm going to use those, and I'm going to implement them and just see what I can get with it, right? You can only do your best. But here's the thing. You want to end the month being like, I showed up, I gave it my all. I may have fallen short, but I am that much further than I was on March 1st. Okay, so perspective is so, so big, okay? So I just want you to know 4 days is a long time, whether you're just starting, whether you're running for a promotion, no matter what it is, we are gonna make the most of all of it. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I do that every single month end, okay? So, and no, you guys, promotions and growth and enrolling customers or distributors, that doesn't happen by accident. It truly happens by making a decision and intentionally using the tools that we have in doing it and rolling it out, right? And I always say, like, if you have felt like, oh my gosh, I'm scared, or I'm doubting myself, or any of those things, it's probably because you're kind of stagnant. Like, you're not taking the actions that we talk about on a regular basis, because action creates confidence, right? And as you get more confident, guess what starts happening? Your audience feels those vibes, and you start enrolling. You start getting the customers. You start getting the teammates, whatever it is that you're putting out there. So the thing is all I'm going to tell you is, when you leave tonight, give yourself some homework, and I'll actually give you some for yourself, okay? But you're going to take action. Just commit to doing. That's all you have to do. The rest of it you learn. The rest of it starts falling into place. But just don't overthink. Instead, be like, I'm going to overdo this week, okay? That's what I'm going to try to do. So just remember, hard work puts you where good luck can find you. And I say that all the time, because when people will say, oh, you're so lucky, you're this, and I was like, oh no, sister, I was bold. I did stuff without knowing every detail. I did stuff no matter what somebody else's opinion was. I didn't care. I still held my dream for my family, and I held strong, right? And I continue to share that. It's not luck, right? It's a choice that we make. It's committing to it. And it's knowing, honestly, you aren't going to see through it, and you aren't going to get to celebrate it at wherever that goal is that you have in mind if you don't commit to it. So you just got to commit to it, okay? So like I said, no matter where you are right now, if you're listening, I just want you to know that you can make the most of these 4 days. And I promise you, if you do, you will be further than you were today on March 31st, okay? And that feeling, even doing the things even 4 days in a row, will literally give you the confidence to do all the things the next week in a row. And then after that, and then after that. And then all of a sudden you're going to be getting weekly bonuses. And then the next thing you know, you're promoting at the end of April. Okay. So you just have to decide, when is your day one going to be? Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to make a choice, and we are going to end and make the most of our 4 days. And so there are 5 things that I'm going to share with you, and we're going to kind of go through these different things. And I'm also going to share different ways of doing it. I'm going to share messages. I'm going to share different stories that you can use. I'm going to share different posts that you can use. But I want to tell you something that I'm going to focus the most on is simplifying, not overthinking, taking the action, and the behind the scenes stuff. Because there's so many times that we want to make it be so pretty. We want it to be perfect, and we want the timing to be just right. And at the end of the day, you guys, no one even pays attention to that. What they pay attention to is your energy, what you're going for, the vibes that you're throwing out, and that you're present. Like, that's it. And so it's funny because Jamie's on here today, and she's like, why are you keep talking about me? Because I'm just new here, right? But I already talked to her on Zoom, and I'm like, she's just our people. Like, she's very laid back. So, but it was funny because today she's getting ready to get started, and she's like, Sarah, it's like 1 p.m. where I'm at, and I didn't get to post about my coffee. And I'm like, if you're just making your coffee, that's real life. And this is the kind of stuff I'm telling you. I already pre-warned her. Like, it doesn't matter. You guys, you have to get rid of the rules. The rules that you put on yourself are so annoying, and that is what stresses you out more than anything else. I promise you. The dumb rules that we apply, okay? Because those rules, no one has told you that you're supposed to go by these rules. Like, we literally tell ourselves them. And I want to tell you something. I don't care what time of the day it is. You guys, I used to work this at 3 in the morning. I used to work it at 8 in the morning and get my stuff done. And then I would be gone because I was working, night shift, or I was sleeping during the day, like when most people don't sleep, or whatever it is. I literally built this business to ambassador with 0 rules. And you know what? I have to remind myself. I've done it once, right? I remind myself every single day, Sarah, get rid of the dumb rules. Like, you didn't even have time for these, and you also don't have time for them now. Okay. So we just got to let go of that, and we just got to do the thing. So I'm going to give you 5 things tonight, and we're going to literally break them down. And if you are on here, I want to tell you guys, if you don't have something that I'm referring to, please just put it in the chat, because we'll get you hooked up. Okay. We'll make sure that you are on the business page, or that you're on Telegram, or whatever it is, because it's all very, very simple things. And that's the reason why we have them. Okay. So we're going to talk behind the scenes work, because that's where the hustle's at. Okay. So number 1, you have to know what you're going for. And when I say that, you need to be very specific. Okay. So if it's a promotion, amazing. Write it down. I want you to seriously get a piece of paper. I hope you have maps in front of you as is, or a notebook, or whatever it is, but you need to write it down. So if you're just starting, if it's those first 6 customers, then you're going to write that down. That's your goal, right? And what's awesome is that those customers are bringing in volume, and that's creating your check, your monthly commission check. If it's a promotion, you're going to look at that promotion, and you know who your people are, right? You know who you're working with together, and you're going to break it down. Where is volume needed? What can you guys do together to bring in that volume? And as you guys get a customer, or as you go and you do a post and you're getting good hits on it, you're going to share it. It is that simple, right? It's not like, oh, you have to have this magic potion or this like aha moment or anything like that. The aha moment is going to be that you shared what you did, and it helped this many people do the same exact thing, right? That's what we all do here. So you have to know what it is you're going for, because if you don't, you're like just kind of grabbing, and you're just going to get random things. You're not going to get that executive promotion. You're not going to get, if you need 400 in volume, you're not going to get the 500, because you don't know what you're going for. Second thing is you have to break it down. Okay. You have to break it down. And if you are a part of somebody's team, you guys get a goal. Like, put yourself in the game. Don't just sit and watch from the sidelines. Put yourself in the game. That's where the fun's at, right? It's like, oh, it's great cheering from the sidelines, but there's nothing better than being the one that throws a good pass or that like lobs the half quarter and it makes it, right? Those are the fun things that we get to do. So you need to break it down. And so if you're like, you know what, I've been a total bum on a log like this entire month, right? I've been MIA. Somebody's been encouraging me. I haven't been listening to messages or whatever it is. Just go to them and be like, I'm ready. What can I do to make the most of my last 4 days? They're going to give you some ideas, and I'm going to give you some tonight too. But if you've been hustling and maybe you're getting crickets over here, that's okay. Keep hustling, because what's going to happen is you are going to bring in new people, and those people bring new life. They bring new energy, and you have no idea who your one person is going to be, right? I say it all the time. My sponsor was like, you know what? She's like, I never thought you would have joined. You guys, I'm her one ambassador. Right? Isn't that funny? Like, and I was the person that she never thought was going to join. So you just don't know. But what's awesome is that she made the decision to show up every single day, doing what she wanted to do with the energy that she did it with, right? And that's what brought in things that she was praying for and working for. So you have to break it down. So know what you want and come together, because that is the really fun part, is just knowing, like, you guys, you can do a lot of things in this business alone, but you can do massive things when you're working together. And it's fun to be able to do that. You want to be that person on somebody's team. You want to have that team that's hungry and is holding you accountable, right? They're like making you up your game because they're out there learning and they're bringing things in. And so I always say it, I absolutely love learning from, whether it be new people in my downline, wherever maybe they hopped on a Zoom that I couldn't hop on. Never be too good to learn, okay? So second thing is break it down. Third thing is communicate with your upline. Again, if you have closed those doors and you've just been like, oh my gosh, I'm letting life like control me, and I feel like I'm out of control. You guys, we get it. Like, that happens for everybody. That's okay. But you can also make a decision to be like, you know what? That's not getting me a lot of the things, or it's not as fulfilling, or I'm ending the day so tired and I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. You can make the decision to be like, hey, Sarah, what is one thing that I can focus on? And as I get good at that, sprinkle in the next thing, and then the next thing, and the next thing. But you have to communicate with your upline, right? We always say, like, they are your guide. They're your guide in this business. They cannot do it for you, but they are going to be here. And I promise you, you will have so much guidance. Like, that's not anything that's lacking in your business. Okay. So even if you feel like you're falling a little bit short, that's okay. It's not the guidance. I promise you. It's getting over the fear. It's finding the time. It's committing to it, making that decision, just like I said in the first thing. And then 4, you guys schedule it. I want you to look at your next 4 days. So that is something that I do. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have to have paper and pencil. You got to do what works for you. But if it's not working for you, hear me out. Like, get a freaking paper and pencil planner. I am so serious. Like, I think the electronic thing looks amazing. I do still do checklists where you can do the little check marks and whatever, but there is something about being able to see my full week in one picture. And literally, you guys, if you saw it, you will see I have like 10 minutes scheduled to grow my network. And then I'm like, okay, once slows down, then I do things where I really like need some quiet, maybe, so I can be like creative, right? So then I put my stuff there. And then at nighttime, it's like I do these other things. So I want you to be so intentional that you're like, you know what, I do have a busy week, but you guys, you can never be too busy to build the life that you want. Okay? You have to remember that. You have to remind yourself, and you owe that to yourself. We have one freaking shot, so you cannot be too busy to build the life that you want to be living. Okay? So know that there are a lot of freaking busy people that have not only hit their goals, but gone and grown way past their goals. So can you. Okay? So can you. So remember, just success leaves clues. So you want to take little tidbits that you're like, you know what? I'm going to do that. And there's going to be times in life where you're like, dang, that sounds like a lot. But it's not, as you start breaking it down. And as you commit to one little thing here and one little thing here and then another thing here. And before you know it, Bree's got her flow, right? Riley's got her flow over here. I'm doing my thing. And at the end of the day, we're still getting our customers and we're still getting our distributors, okay? So 4 is you have to look at your week and you have to plan it in, okay? 5 is, what do you need? right? Is it volume? Okay, then focus on customers. And you guys, even if it's not a promotion, if you just brought in 3 new people, focus on what their goal is. Focus on winning with them. If they're winning, you will win. You will win. It's all about how many people you can help, right? So you have to figure out, what do we need? What do I need? What do we need? Okay, so let's just break this down. If you need loyal customers and you need volume, that's all you need right now over the next 4 days to wrap up that goal that you have in mind, that you wrote down, right? When I said what number 1, then guess what we're going to do? We're going to share products that you're either super excited about because you haven't used them yet, or products that you can sell samples of, or products that you use on a regular basis. Okay? And so those. So even just write down 3. I want you to take a hot second and you're going to write down 3 products that you are going to share this week. And again, it can be products that you're interested in. It can be products that that you use on a regular basis. Obviously for me, you guys, I share coffee every single morning. And it's funny because I hear all the time when people are like, oh my gosh, I just don't want to be annoying. And I'm like, well, what's annoying? Like, I don't even know what that is, because I'm like, well, I share the same thing every single morning. But yet, that's a lot of reasons why people become my customer. Or we get in this conversation about the coffee, and all of a sudden, before they know it, yeah, they want to drink coffee that does this, but they also want to make some money, and they also want to be able to share a discount. So it's funny when people say, like, again, we put these rules, like, we don't want to be annoying. No, you don't have to be annoying. But like, I want you to know, people also don't want you to share something one time and then like go off the grid, right? They need to see things over and over to be like, okay, Sarah really loves her coffee. I mean, I really love mine too, but it definitely doesn't do this. So I want this, right? To bring them over. Or what, maybe it's the business. Like, no one wants to get started with somebody that's like, 1 minute they're way up here, the next minute they're here. And then all of a sudden they're like gone for a week and a half. They're like terrified. You guys, they're going to go find somebody that's like, I'm excited. Like, I'm sticking to what I'm going for. Even if you don't understand it, that's okay. But I'm here. Right? And so figure out what you need. So share your products. I want you to think of 3. Okay. So you probably have 3. You guys, I have so many, from my morning routine to just like my little day things that I do, and then my skincare at night. So I know, you guys, there's times that I have to like bring it down a level and be like, Sarah, you can't be all over the place, because people are going to be like, well, I do want to try those, but I can't buy 12 at one time. Right? And maybe they can, but we'll get to that, right? So even for myself, I know that if I can even just throw a few in there, and I also want you to remember that summer's coming, okay? Y'all, we've been like stuck in our homes, and things are starting to open up a little bit. Like, people are going to be ready to go. They're going to be ready to go with other people to the barbecues, to all the things. They're going to want to be feeling good. So think about those things. I always say, take where we're at in life into consideration, right? So maybe you don't share the wraps that often, but we all love them. Like, let's be honest, right? So you can, even though maybe the slimming gummies are, taking like a hot second to ship, or they might not be available, or whatever it is, think you can do cleanse. You can do the skinny wraps. You can do fat biters. You can do Thermobite X. Like, there's so many. So just hone in on a few. And then what I want you to do is that in our Telegram, and Jamie, I'll hook you up with this, but in our Telegram and on our Instagram business page, you guys, I want you to go, out of those 3 that you just did, I want you to go snag some stories, okay? Because what you're going to do is, as you share those, you're already going to have them in there for the week. And you just have to remember, you guys, you don't need to bring something new every single time. Like, that's us overcomplicating it, okay? So like, I literally probably rotate the same 7 opportunity stories, because I'm not going to rewrite my story every single time. Now, am I going to post that the same time over and over? No, but I'm going to rotate it through along with like random life stuff, and people don't remember that. But what they do remember is like, wait, I remember flexibility and freedom and being able to work from home. They remember key words, okay? So remember that when you go, whether it be, and again, Pinterest is also a really, really good place. Like, if you're like, oh, it works cleanse on Pinterest, and you can even say Instagram stories or whatever it is, but you will get really good stuff that pops up that you can save. And remember, this is stuff that you can use forever, okay? So I put a ton in in the Telegram app. So I want you guys, I'm going to give you literally 5 minutes to do that. Okay. So, and then same thing on our Instagram page, our business or our team Instagram page, which I'm going to share it with you right now if you guys can't remember, but it's just Diamond Hive Tribe. And so listen, if you don't currently follow that, just go do it now. And Lisa and I we will accept it because it's a private page. And then in highlights, you guys, you will see a ton. So you'll see cleanse ones. You're going to see slimming gummies. You're going to see sleepy tea. Like you will see everything. And you can go through those and you can screenshot them. And then I'm going to make sure if you don't have Telegram, yeah, see, and I think sometimes people don't realize this, but I actually ask my new people that are just joining a lot of questions just about like what they saw, what like was appealing to them, like certain things like that. And not because I want to do that, but I even do that for like boutiques. Like I'm just that person that I'm like, hey, you know, the ads that you're paying for, that's what I saw. And that's how I found your website. So I just want to tell you, sister, like it's working. So keep doing you. Right. And so she just said like, I didn't overshare 50 plus products. Like I wasn't like, oh, here's a new product today. Here's another product this time. Here's this, here's that. And I'm going to tell you, that's a mistake I made in the beginning. Like, again, that's just not knowing, and that's overcomplicating, but it's also overwhelming. Okay. So I want you to remember when we overcomplicate things on the outside, that's very overwhelming to the people that we're talking to. Okay. And so make sure you go get that. I'm going to give 1 second. I just was addressing those. Hold on 1 sec. Get your little stories. I added a bunch of new ones to Telegram. You guys, you'll see, and I'll talk about this too, but there's ones in there for distributors and or just like sharing the opportunity, and you have to pay attention. So again, I always tell people, don't just throw stuff up without reading through it and it making sense. Same thing with like an idea of a post. Read through the post that you're going to go post, because if something doesn't apply, or maybe somebody's put their number, like they're going to text that number instead of yours. So like take a hot second, take a breath, make sure it looks good, make sure it makes sense. Okay. And then that way you can go in and you can edit certain things. But I put it in there too, for our international girls. I made sure to put in the Canadian dollar amount as well, so that you have one for you. That's something I'm trying to remember to do, because I know sometimes it's hard to go like put in your own stuff. And then where you have the little boxes, you guys, that's where you just add a picture of like yourself, or it can be, you can even get a picture off of Pinterest, like where it's like, you know, girlfriends or girls trip or whatever. Like you can grab whatever pictures that you want, but you want to put it in there to personalize it to yourself. Honestly, you guys, it can even be the same pictures. Like if you're like, I don't even have any pictures with friends or whatever it may be, like it can be, you don't have to always change up your picture. Okay. So I always say, do work with what you have, because that's what we all do, really. Hold on 1 sec. I'm going to get you. I see some of you are getting into the Diamond Hive on Telegram. Okay, Stephanie, hopefully we got you in there too. And that way you can go through. And again, you can just like save different ones on there, okay? So that's one way of getting loyal customers, okay? And again, you guys, if you're like, I'm not really using a lot of products, I just am going to be really honest with you. I knew when I started this business, I wanted this business to work, because you know what? I had worked my way all the way up to the top in my career, and I knew what that looked like. And honestly, there was just things that were missing. And I was 27 years old. I'm like, I still have a lot of life, and I still want more babies and like all the things, right? And in that, I knew, okay, if you're going to do that, that's more flexibility, that you're going to want more finances. You're going to want this, right? And the thing is I'm not going to feel guilty for getting that, because you have to remember, as you level up and you go for your goals, really what you're doing to the people around you is you're encouraging them to do the exact same thing. And this just goes back to saying, like, we got one life, you guys. Like, let's make the most of it. Like, you are capable of way more than you think you are. Okay. So, hold on. I was on a thing and I can't even remember. This is what happens when you're my age. Shoot, you guys. Anyways, that's okay. I just want to make sure that you're on there, but I'll get back to that. So we are going with the loyal customers, right? And so we have our ways to do that. And you guys, I'm literally sharing with you what I do weekly to get my loyal customers. And I get more than the 6. Oh, this is what I was saying. It was coming down to this. So if you're not using products, or you feel like you're skipping around sometimes, or you're like, oh my gosh, I really need to run my business nice and tight. You guys, you can run your business nice and tight without skipping the steps to success. Okay? I want you to hear me loud and clear. I have never lost a dime in this business. My paycheck has covered my auto ship, right? My samples have covered my auto ship and my website. Why? Because I committed to it. I committed to 20 minutes here and 10 minutes here. And I stared at the dang steps to success every single month, right? And I had those goals. I wanted the 6 loyal customers. I wanted the 3 distributors. I wanted the weekly bonuses, right? And so the thing is that just don't stand in your way, and know that you can run your auto ship. And if you're trying to share something that you aren't really using or haven't been for months, that's what you're missing. And I want you to genuinely hear my heart. So instead, just be like, you know what? No, she's right. I'm going to run my freaking auto ship. I'm going to put in 2 or 3 products. I'm going to allow myself to use one, and I'm going to hustle the other ones as samples. Because guess what? Those samples are going to bring in your next 6 customers. Those 6 customers are building your commission check. Those customers are going to be people who love it, and they can be potential people that end up joining your team. And now you're making weekly bonuses. And before you know it, you're getting paid in 3 ways. And you're going to be like, yeah, remember that Zoom that Sarah said that I didn't have to lose a dime and my efforts could cover my products that I wanted to use and my website? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I did. Okay. So just know, if you feel like you're falling short, do not take shortcuts. These things are in place for a reason, because they all feed into the other. Just like when we talk about, right, we don't just get paid to post. We get paid to have conversations with people. We get paid to connect with people. We get paid to help people, right? And in the midst of that, we share different things, right? And so we have our 6 things, but if you're skipping out on like 5 of them, you're not going to get where you need to go. So don't convince yourself that you're not good at something. Instead, go through and evaluate and be like, what am I skipping? Like, what's the thing that scares me or that makes me sweat? And so I'm not doing it. Like, I need to do that this week, right? And so the other thing for loyal customers is host a post, okay? So you're able to go get your stories. And again, like I said, this should not take long, you guys. And I'm not joking. The stories that you shared of your product of Monday, you can be sharing those ones again on Thursday. No one knows. Okay. Or you can even take like the words from that and use your own pictures or whatever it is. But next up is host a post. So if you need quick and fast and you're like, I want some fast results, this is where you should be honing in. I'm going to be really honest with you, because it is so intentional and it has you doing all the things. We have a $300 giveaway and we will be drawing the winner. And when I say we, Quita is so kind and she does that. And I think she had to hop off because she's starting work. But we give a $300 giveaway and we draw one person. Okay. So we can use that host a post. And if you're new here, host a post is literally like a glamped up referral program. And what we do is we have somebody share, we give them a post and they put it up on their wall, and it will be like, what the people who comment, they are going to become some of your new friends. They're going to be the people. You have to remember, they're commenting because they're interested. So then you're going to go message them about what they shared. So it's usually like a product that we've had them share. Like, hey, listen up. It will be like coffee. Where are my coffee drinkers at? That type of thing. So if you need help with posts, but I'm going to share with you, it can be something as simple as this. I'm going to share with you some ideas, okay, of just what we can do is to get host a post rolling is that you can put up an interactive post. Okay. So these are just ideas of ones that you guys can do. And I'm telling you, it will get it rolling right off the bat. And again, if you are new to host a post, you might be like, wow, I'm a little bit confused. But if you ask your upline, they will tell you, yes, go post this, and I'm going to be ready for you, and I'm going to share what post you're going to have your people share on their wall. Okay, so here's just one of them. Okay, these are just some really easy, fun ones, and I'm also going to tell you guys. So if you're in this, you guys can just go save these from the chat. Okay, and you can just pick whatever one that you would want for you, and then I'm going to tell you one that's also, you guys, this or that posts are so simple, so easy. And because it is so simple and easy, people are very drawn to them. Okay. And so this is another one, like this or that. Are you an Apple or are you an Android? Right? It's like people have very strong feelings about this. And I'm an Apple. No, I'm kidding. You can use whatever you want, but that's what I like. But stay in, go out, whatever it is. And then you know that when that brings people in and they're commenting, this is what can bring them in to getting entered into our giveaway. And the way that they get entered is by just sharing a post that we give them to put up on their wall. That's it. Like that's seriously, it's that simple for people to get in. So host a post is very, very big. Okay. And again, if your posts maybe aren't doing much when you go and share that, it might be because you haven't added people, or maybe you haven't posted on Facebook for a while. That's okay. But you got to start somewhere, right? It's okay. Just know that. But you got to just get your foot like on the court and start moving forward, right? So another thing is that when you're on there and you're messaging, you know how on the side you have like the green light messages. You can message people and ask them if they would like to be entered into your giveaway. And if they would be willing to put up a post. Oops, it didn't copy my other one. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to share in the chat again. So these are things too. If you have people that weren't able to hop on, that's okay, you guys. But just save these and go back and share them. Right? We're all just working together. Okay, and then when they respond to this, and especially if you are going for a promotion, here's the thing. Don't be shy to say that. Like people love knowing that if they finally are like going to bite the bit to order, that they're helping you in some way. You guys, I think people think it's the opposite, but in all reality, I know as you get into even some of the higher promotions, when our girls have just like put it out there because they're like, I am not falling short of this. Like this has been my goal for the last 4 months. Like our team is so close, we're doing it, right? It's like, it's crazy the people that truly do want to help you. Like make it fun for them. Give them a purpose. So this is one, like if you are going for a huge promotion, you can do this. Here's another one. Folks, hold on. I'm going to change one thing on this because this one had our old giveaway on it. Hold on. Okay. Again, super easy, straight to the point. Okay. So here's some things on host a post, okay? And like I said, if you've never done host a post, don't sweat. Like just get this info down, and then you're gonna go talk with your upline or your friend or your mentor, and they're gonna help you. It's like a system, but it's actually super fun. I always say this business to me, I mean, it's obviously real life because I'm celebrating 9 years on the 30th, which is crazy. How long have you all been at your jobs or worked at your jobs? So like for me, at my nursing job, I was there for like 10 years. So like I've almost been doing this as long as my nursing job, which is so insane to even think about. But anyways, so I feel like I'm having some nostalgia this week. I'm like, whoa, little things are making me emotional. That's just like the sign of a grateful heart, right? But anyways, don't stress about it. Take the info that you're given today. I always tell people this, like, soak it in, and then have it. So when you're ready to go use it, that you can put it into play. But I truly believe that month end, if we can all be doing host to post, I'm telling you, you will be having so many conversations. And while one conversation is kind of stirring over here, it's like, this one is started, and then while you're starting this one, it's so nice because all of a sudden this one's like, I'm ready to order, and you're getting the volume, you're getting the customers, you're earning your shopping spree, you're building your paycheck. It all just kind of flows. And so that's one thing that I absolutely do love about host to post. Okay. So those are for loyal customers. You guys, that's where I think the big stuff is. If you are getting loyal customers in other ways, feel free to blow up the chat and help people out. Okay. Because like I said, we all do different things all the time. Okay. So, and then distributors, you guys, okay. Every single Wednesday night, we are coming on for 15 to 20 minutes and we share about the opportunity. You guys, it is short, it is sweet, and it is filled with stories of different people. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. Stories sell. Okay. I'm just going to be really honest. You can know every fact in the book, and I promise you, if you spouted off every little thing about the compensation plan to somebody and every fact about this business, they are going to be like this. They're going to be like, okay, like that's a lot. I don't even know what that means. I mean, there were so many words that I didn't even know what half of them meant until I had to like learn it because that's what I needed for a promotion or whatever it was, right? So the thing is, but guess what got me in was a story, right? Why did somebody start? What do they want to do with it? Like, I joined somebody that started 10 days before me. She hadn't promoted. She couldn't tell me that she had made thousands of dollars. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? So just remember that. So every single Wednesday night, we are doing an opportunity call. So this is the thing. The only way that that's going to work for you is if you invite people to it, right? And you have some of those conversations. So I'm going to give you some wording for that. But the thing is that if you invite somebody and they say, I'm going to be on, you guys, you want to hop on to be on there with them, right? So that way you can refer to certain things, or if somebody shares something that's kind of similar to their story, you can kind of tie that together to be like, see, we were just talking about that. Like everyone's like that, you know, or maybe it's a fear, or maybe it's certain things. But I want to tell you, we've been doing them and they are smaller groups. So it's a lot more intimate. We're very informal. It's like sitting around having coffee or wine or whatever it is with your girlfriends and like coming together with a grand idea to be like, hey, you want to like live your best life and become millionaires by just like spreading awesome stuff. Like that's literally what we do. And so the thing is that when people are on there, you guys, every time people get potentials on there, there's people signing up. So at the end of the day, if you need distributors, why are you not getting your people on there or inviting them? And we have it last minute kind of for a reason. Here's the thing. Do you know what you're going to be doing at 8 p.m. next Thursday or Friday or Wednesday? Because I don't. So, but guess what? When somebody can consistently say like, hey, I think, you know, that you would love this. And I would love to, if you want to listen in, if you've ever been interested in making an extra income, you know, you should hop on. You can keep your camera off. You can just have a baby on your hip. Like you can do whatever you want, but I think you would love to get the info. Like if you can do that and then they say yes, and maybe they miss it, or maybe they're like, that doesn't work for me. Cool. Do you want me to invite you for next week? Or would you like me to send you the recording if they record it? Like you have options for them. Okay. And again, it's showing consistency on your part. You're going nowhere. Right? So if they're interested, they have time to get the information. You're going to be there. You're helping people as is. Why not be helping them? Right? So I'm going to give you some messages that you can send for that. Okay. So a message just for opportunity. And I promise you, we do try to like stick to our time limit, but it's kind of hard. And without like talking fast, but we do keep it pretty good. 13 years, 16 years. I'm just going back. Isn't that crazy, you guys? I remember when I started, I was like, is this real? Like, is this a thing that lasts forever? Like, can it? Like, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know what we don't know. But at the end of the day, it's really funny because I think if there's anything we've learned, even things that we thought could stay forever, we realize like that could truly, unless you're the one in control of it, it can be ripped out from under you in no time, right? We saw that during the COVID stuff and whatever it is. It's like, really, that's like this like facade thought that we have in our head that it's like there forever, right? Okay, so here's one to be able to invite them. So you guys, I keep very, very simple. I also am going to be really honest with you. I don't care if I've asked them yet or not. If there are people that I am moved to invite into this business, or who that I would just love to help, or I would love to link arms with them because they're just positive and their vibes are on point and whatever else, I voice message. So I'm going to be real with you. I'm a voice messenger because I just think in a place where people easily message or they only see pictures, I think you stand out when you go just that teensy beensy extra mile. Okay. So here's the one that you can do it that I use as a follow-up. Wait, did it go? Yeah, it did. Okay. That I use it as a follow-up. So for people that have been like on the fence, back and forth type thing, I don't care if it's product or if it's the business, I will offer this to them. So even for people that I am talking to over and over and they are like second guessing or overthinking buying product for themselves. Okay. I come to one thing. I'm like, okay, they either feel guilty treating themselves or maybe it's finances and they don't want to tell me, and that's okay. They don't have to tell me anything. But here's the thing. I don't want that to be a problem of them treating themselves to something that would allow them to feel their best and be healthier, right? And so I keen in and I'm like, I want to offer this business to that person. Like, because I want them to be able to have an extra $100 to spend on themselves without feeling guilty. Or I don't want them to have to wait for payday to switch up their coffee. Like, I want them to have options. And so that's the other thing. For a lot of people where you're going back and forth with product, a lot of people will back off and they're like, oh, they're not interested. I don't. I just say like, hey, I know that you have been wanting and you've been going back and forth about which products to start with, and you're interested in this. And whether it be that you feel guilty spending that money on yourself, or you have funds going to different things, or you had like unknown costs pop up, I want to offer you the opportunity to not only be able to use the products at discount like we've talked about over and over, but would you be interested in making some extra income and earning free product and possible bonuses? Because tonight I'm having an opportunity call with my girlfriends, and I would love for you to listen in. I think you'd be amazing at this. So if this is something that you think you would be interested in, let me know and I'll shoot the information over to you. If you don't ask, the answer is always no, okay? And even when you do ask, if the answer is no, it's not forever. I promise you that, okay? I promise you. So that is something that I do use a lot, okay? So again, that's an example of, I feel like you're so on the cusp of something good, but then you shy back because you're like nervous about something, or you're filling in their story or their reason why. As where if you went over this way and you went just a few more steps, you guys, you would get that person. You would unlock not only so much for yourself, but so much for them. Okay. So that's another thing that I do easily. So those are who I go for. That is how I am using the Wednesday night calls. We are not stopping them. They're actually super, super fun, you guys. And like I said, I think it's really nice for where people have been pretty secluded for a long time. It is super nice to have positivity and community and just see people and to be able to hear people and to say like, you know what, they might join and next week we're the faces that they see on their next team huddle. Like, they're not alone. Nobody's alone, right? So that's what I do for DTs. And then, like I said, we have the Wednesday opportunity call, and then your story. Like, you have to share that, okay? You have to share. And look, I'm not even going to tell you what you think I'm going to tell you. You're going to share why you started or what caught your eye, okay? And you're going to say what your plan is for this. What do you plan to do with this? What are you excited about? You know, that type of thing. And then last thing is invite them to do it with you. How, if they're interested, how do they come to Sarah to get more info or to learn more about what I'm doing or what journey I'm on or what I added into my life that I'm like so excited about, right? How do they do that? So you're going to say why you started or what caught your eye, what your plan is and where you're going, and invite them to do it with you. And then the last thing that I share once I get into conversation is the perks. You guys, our perks are so many, but I'm going to give you just 3. They can get free product, so they have the shopping spree. They're eligible for bonuses right now, anybody joining, and community. Obviously, you guys all know we grow in so many ways, right? But those are things that I think are just very appealing that a lot of jobs don't have, truthfully. So there's a lot of good perks, right? And the thing that has always kept me around is that this filled the gaps that my job did not. So even on the hard days in this business, or the days that I feel short of a goal, or I have 3 people tell me no, guess what? I'm still here. I'm still happy. I'm not like a hurt human, right? I'm still here. I promise you. So you can be too. But I just want to tell you, this has fulfilled literal dreams, not even just goals, like dreams that I was like, oh my gosh, if somebody told me that that's going to happen in 5 years for you, I would be like, no way, right? So that's the cool thing about this. So here's the thing, hold yourself accountable, right? Show up for you, because no one else is going to do that. So, and you're worth it. You're worth it. Your family's worth it. Your goals are worth it. And honestly, if you're called to do it, it doesn't matter if you're qualified. You will become qualified in the journey and while you're taking that action. That's all I can tell you. Like I was not qualified to probably quote unquote sign somebody up 5 days in, but guess what? We're still here. A lot of us are still kicking. It's surpassed our full-time income, right? So I just want to share with you, like, get rid of like the overthinking, the overcomplicating. Have fun, you guys. Work behind the scenes, bust your little tail for your goals and your dreams, right? And just keep it simple. Like, truly, just, this is not, like, it can change your life, but it is not like a life or death like decision to join or to do certain things, right? It's like, it's okay. Just take the pressure off people. Be lighthearted with it. So know that you have 4 days left. Don't skip around. Just full on be like, I'm going to be here for it. I'm going to do what they said. I'm going to use this Wednesday night opportunity call. I don't care if I've been in for 2 years or I've been in for 2 days. Who cares? Just use it. It's there for you, right? We're going to do the talking anyways. And so this is my last thing I want to share with you. Don't be pushed around by the doubt and fears you have. I want you to acknowledge it. Feelings are real. We all get it, right? We all have feelings. But I want you to acknowledge it, and then I want you to say, cool, but go. Okay? I literally want you to say, okay, that's cool. And even if you have to write those feelings out that you're like, so-and-so is going to think this, I want you to write it out and be like, cool, but go. Because why? Because your dreams are worth it, and that's what you should be led by. Okay? It is not by anything else. Make the decision to be led by your dreams. Okay? So we are going to make the most of the next 4 days. I know there's going to be a lot of communication between all of us behind the scenes. There's already big promotions that are happening amongst our team, and we still have like that was like happening a week or almost last week. So when we still had a week left. So even in these next 4 days, I know that there's going to be amazing big things that happen. And I am telling you just to keep working for it, because it is so worth it. I promise you that. And then I will just stay on a hot second. If you guys have any questions, you can pop them in the chat. If not, we will be back on Sunday again. And make sure to tune into tonight's family night call. Bye, you guys.